On today's trip to CEX, I'm hoping to get some old PS2 RPGs. I've seen them a few times, the last couple of times I've been in there. Really hoping that they're still in there. There's only going to be one way to find out. It's one of them where I'm not entirely sure if these two games are the originals of the games, because there are a lot of these old school RPGs that were originally like PC games, like way back when, that they then created a port for to bring it over to like the consoles. There was loads of things like that when I was a kid. I remember playing. Hang on, might as well just actually show you it. I remember playing like Call of Duty Finest Hour, thinking, oh yeah, that's Call of Duty 1. That's the first ever Call of Duty. It isn't. It's just the first Call of Duty on a PlayStation 2. And I'm sure there's probably more examples of that if we start looking. But so it's a classic example of that, the games that I'm after today. I do also need to start filling the shelves. It might actually be a little bit of a problem. I think I might be approaching running out of PlayStation 2 space, because I know there's this there that's probably, like 15 games. But there's some games there to put on the shelves, along with a couple of other new ones. Like, I really don't think it's going to be long again until the PlayStation 2 shelves are filled. And I have more space that I could create now, but it just wouldn't be in this room, and I don't know about that. Like, the fact that I could doesn't mean that I necessarily should. Oh, speaking of which, let me show you something cool. Recently, this showed up in my local CX, and this is actually my childhood copy of this game because I played it a lot, like all the time. I remember being actually really, really hard. And then last year when I started ordering things from CX's website to collect things because I just wanted to own things versus caring more about making the videos, I got this one, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. £28. Not bad. I think that this has started to skyrocket, but one that has truly gone insane and is a very rare one that actually I think I'll get a sticker for today, because it would be interesting to have for the sake of content, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. I think this is a £175 PlayStation 2 game now. It's pretty nuts. But the PS2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game that I actually did play the most was this one, which if you check that, the old school Tesco sticker, $13.97. This is one of the best. I just used to play it all the time. I love keeping old stickers on like that. Like, I think my Death by Degrees has got one too. Yeah, this is a fairly expensive game too. I think this might be 30, 40 quid at CEX now as well. And I got it for a tenner. What else do I know has got some sort of old sticker on? Drakengard 2. Yeah, £7. I think that's actually a PlayStation 2 rarity now. I've never ever been one to take stickers off because I think it's kind of a piece of history. It's nice to be able to keep track of and look at, and I do enjoy that. Got a whole collection. How much is that these days? Has that crossed into the 70 ballpark? I need to create a list of stickers that I need. My local CEX do me favours in printing the stickers, so for those that don't know, the reason that I like the stickers is because the stickers help me to make more money to be able to buy more games, because the stickers are what draw in the views over on TikTok. So for example, no one would have a clue that this was a £620 game if it wasn't for the sticker that said £620, and therefore nobody would have watched that video to begin with, and therefore it would have never made the money back and I wouldn't have been able to go and buy more. So my local CX, if I ever end up with games without stickers because of whatever reason, so for example, when I bought my Godzilla, I got this from eBay, so obviously no sticker, and they did sort me out with one. Same thing with Killzone. Did they sort me out with a sticker for that? No sticker there. Might get a sticker for that too. I'm going to take note of that, and then I'll head to CX. I've had to park in a slightly different spot than usual because it's absolutely rammed. And, yeah, Saturdays and things, I guess. Town could be a problem. What else was I going to say? Oh, yeah, so my KFC video on TikTok is booming. It's going to go to 2 million views. It's on 1.5 already in less than a day, so it is going to hit 2. And that's nuts. And with any successful video comes hate. And it is hysterical, the amount of insults from just obese people. I'm getting physically insulted for my appearance in a video of me buying and counting some pieces of KFC by the most EDL, Stella drinking, man, woman and child beating overweight blokes I've ever seen, and it's hysterical. They all look exactly like my dad. I hate blokes like that. You know, based on the comment sections of TikToks, you can tell who did and who did not get punched in the face by grown men when they were a child. You can tell. If you ever want that story, by the way, just go on my channel and try and find my dad's stories videos. I had a whole time. But these are the blokes that I'm like, yeah, we know what you are. It's funny. Alrighty then, welcome to CX on this incredibly busy day. Like, I really kind of did struggle filming these clips. Usually, I tend to aim for about 3 minutes worth of clips per CEX section, as it were. That's usually enough for me to get around the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, the PS4, the 360, and the stuff behind the glass. But today, there was enough people moving around and sort of lurking that I had to do it in about 3 or 4 different clips and sections. It's been a bit of a strange few days in Stafford Town Centre. In fact, like, you guys know that I typically record these voiceovers like a couple of days later, following on from actually filming the clip. Well, I don't know whether it was this CEX trip or another one that I don't think I filmed for the tube, because I do that sometimes if I'm going too frequently. I don't want to record a YouTube video in the same CEX every single day. It's a bit much. There's just not enough rotation of stock for that to work. But I was walking through town, and I had Ruby with me, and this family go, "Oh, it's a little cute sausage," and then like this like, well, it was a crackhead, goes, "It's more of a rat, really, isn't it?" And I look at him and I go, "That is a very bold thing to say for a man who's 5'2", because Jesus Christ, where do they get the balls? Stafford's turning into a mess. I don't remember Stafford having as many crackheads when I was a child or a teenager, and it's not like I wouldn't have noticed, because I used to walk the streets all night. I didn't exactly have very mindful parents. Anybody that's been keeping up with my family history should know that. So I would have seen them. I don't know. I feel like they've just been multiplying in recent years. There's a bit of a spot near the CEX that they all just sort of congregate outside. And interesting, speaking of congregating in CEX, Ruby herself enjoys pulling into CEX now, I've noticed, whenever we do come. Like, she'll actively pull on the lead to walk in, which, get her a little CEX hat. Sponsor her. Although they'd have to sponsor me first. People on TikTok genuinely do not believe that CEX don't sponsor me. But fun fact, I once managed to see that they did sponsor one guy. And I managed to get hold of the agency manager's name. Because when companies sponsor, they don't tend to sponsor directly. They go through an agency and get the agency to sort it out. They just throw money towards the agency. They go, "Hello, Mr. Agency Marketing Manager. We have 10 grand for Q1 to spend," or whatever. "Divvy it up as you see fit." And that's how they do it. And yeah, the manager was like, I was like, "Oh, that's helpful." Anyway, that's just an interesting story from last year. CEX have only ever done the one sponsor video, and I bet the guy got paid a fortune, because typically those marketing budgets are divvied up by however many people there are. So you can get like one mega influencer for like 10k. You can get like loads of people with a few 100,000 followers for like a couple of grand each, or you can get like loads of like 10,000 follower people for a few £100 each. It's all dependent on how the marketing managers divide that ad spend. It's a bit of a different world. I'm going to start talking more about this sort of stuff and the transparency and behind the scenes of social media life, more on videos to come. So yeah, stay tuned for that. All right, then, back at the car. So sadly, the things that I wanted to get were gone, so they've shifted quick. Lots of things have shifted quick. I was saying this about how Stafford CEX, it doesn't matter how frequently I go, it's always pretty different in there, or at least different enough to warrant usually coming out with something. I have come out with something. I don't even know what it is, to be honest, but the cover is interesting to me. I'll show you what it is when I get back. I also did a bit of adulting, because I was like, oh, tomorrow's Sunday, and I'm not going to be wanting to do the weekly shop tomorrow. So I bought some necessities. I brought myself my chicken thigh. If you ask me what do you have for lunch, breakfast, dinner, snacks, at this point the answer is probably bloody chicken. Yeah. Right, what else is on the agenda? Head back home, it's 3 PM. Need to brush my hair out, because still don't actually have a hairdryer anymore. I also keep losing weight, and I've not eaten today really. So I might pick up a mayo chicken from McDonald's on my travels. We'll see. Let's go. What were we saying about chicken earlier on? So I bought 3 things today, and so I got some chicken seasoning, I got some chicken thighs, and then just because I've eaten nothing today, I got a mayo chicken. What did I have yesterday? KFC, and yeah, check this out. So all of my protein stuff that previously lived on the floor because tidying up and mopping under there is currently on the table. Use code Cayle, all that sort of thing. My favourites are the Easter egg layered bars, which you can't get at the minute because they're Easter themed, which is why I stack up on a year's worth. But what you could get that is some of my favourites is the cookies, and they're somewhere here. Bad example perhaps because they are actually buried, which isn't good because I actually want to eat one. Yeah, the baked cookies, chocolate chip flavour are my favourite. I'm going to have to dig one out if I want one to eat in a minute. But yeah. And the peanut butter wafers, they're good too. Anyway, shall I show you what I got, I suppose? I actually can't remember the name of the game because it's a bit of a weird one. It's a bit of an obscure one. It's funny that I keep saying obscure as well because there is actually... I should have taken my shoes off. I've hoovered. There's actually an obscure PS2 franchise called Obscure that's quite expensive. They are also games that I got bloody ages ago. So today I got Evil Twin. Cyprian's Chronicles. I have no idea what this is. It looks vaguely like some sort of weird children's version of a survival horror. Maybe slightly less of a children's version of survival horror than that Piglet game. Enter an enchanting and disturbing world. Evil Twin will take you into the depths of your imagination, into your dreams and your nightmares. Cyprian finds himself drawn against his will into a dreamlike and twisted world. An intriguing plot takes Cyprian through 8 islands in which he must fight enemies and solve riddles until he meets the source of all this evil and face the final battle. Sounds kind of cool. And sounds vaguely Alice in Wonderland or Wizard of Oz. I like sort of Fantasyland type things. The Alice Madness Returns game, for example, there needs to be another one of them. But yeah, at this point, my pile is mounting. I also didn't get any stickers today because CEX was way too busy like I thought it would be. I'll do it on a weekday when it's just like me in there and I can just have a chat with them like I normally do. Today was not one of those days. It would have been inappropriate to ask for favours when there's a massive queue. So, yeah, I might need to freeze some stuff. It's a weird world. Anyway, I need to eat some food. I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. I did a thing. It took a while. I'll talk about it in the next video, I suppose. Seems like a next video thing. Right. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in a bit.